Oh, hello there, and welcome. Hey everybody, how's it going? Assalamu alaikum, Jummah Mubarak. I hope everybody is doing great. Today is a really exciting live stream. Actually, let me fix the framing real quick. Here we go. Alright, that's a bit better. Anyway, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing well. It is Friday, August 11th, 2017. Today I'm going to be talking about, like the title says, these are must-have lenses. I'm telling you, these are must-have lenses for filmmaking. If you want to start your YouTube channel, of course, prerequisite, you should have a DSLR camera, and specifically a Canon DSLR camera. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is actually the difference between the different types of lenses. Obviously, there are three types that I know of, but I'm going to only be talking about two because those are the most popular. You have your zoom lenses and you have your prime lenses. Your zoom lenses, obviously, telescopes from one focal length to another. And then your prime lenses are a fixed focal length. So that's just basically the gist of it. A lot of filmmakers, they like to use prime lenses for their filmmaking, but again, it always depends on what's the story, what story are you trying to tell, and how are you going to tell that visually. And these are just merely tools. They're essential tools, though, of how you show that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and go over my favorite lenses. These are the ones that I own. I do want to disclaim that I do not have one that I've had in the past. I gave that actually to my brother, so he could start his YouTube channel hopefully soon. He'll be doing some cool stuff over on his channel. Anyway, so the first lens I'll talk about is actually one that is actually very affordable. It's although it is plastic, it is well made. It is by the main manufacturer. It is a Canon lens. And ultimately it gives you a great looking image. Now this is the popular 50mm f1.8. It's a plastic construction, very tiny, and it's not a pancake lens, so it's not really small, but it is tiny compared to the rest of the other lenses out there. They call it the Nifty 50 because, like I said, it's made out of plastic. You have your automatic and manual focus, of course. Oh, also keep in mind that all these lenses are for APC frames, right? These are crop sensor cameras for DSLRs, not full frame. If you were to, you can attach these to full frame cameras, but it will obviously be cropped and it won't be the exact measurement that it shows, that it's built for. So that's another thing to keep in mind. These are all for crop sensor Canon cameras, APC. I don't know what it stands for exactly, but that's just keep that in mind. So yeah, back to the 50mm. This thing is a beast. This thing, they say that the 50mm is closest to the human eye. So if you were to have this as a POV kind of thing, and you can kind of get an idea of what the human eye sees. Now, the f-stop, right, the maximum is 1.8. That's the most wide you can open it, and that's really good because that allows more light in to your sensor so that you don't have to add ISO or open the shutter. I'm drawing a blank actually. Hold on a second. So when you do that, yeah, you're actually creating more shallow depth of field, and when you do that, it makes your image, whether you're doing a photo or more importantly for video, it gives that cinematic look, and that's what we're all going for. We always want to be on a budget and create the best looking image, and really show that in our work that we can pull off something like that. So 50mm, right, 1.8. Now in my case, because I have the GH4 with a speed booster, because the GH4 is a micro four thirds sensor, and these are not micro four thirds lenses, the speed booster actually adds another stop to the aperture, so actually you get more light, but then that actually makes it less, actually it makes it more sensitive to the focus. So you have to be really, really careful and really critical. Also, the focus on this guy is really sharp. It's really good, very easy to use. That's why I love this guy a lot. Easy for your traveling. It's good for street photography if you're into that. But I like it, of course, for filmmaking, and to have that really cinematic look. I like to use this prime lens. It's amazing and a very, very affordable. That's also very important. The next lens that I'll be talking about, if y'all watched my vlog yesterday, y'all know that I got the Takina 11 to 16 millimeter f2.8 lens. This is a zoom lens. What's really cool about it is that the zoom actually happens within the barrel. It does not telescope, so like I was saying yesterday, it doesn't carry any front weight. It won't make it heavier in the front if you zoom in. Keeps it the same. It's a decent size. I believe it's a metal body with some plastic components. The grips on the zoom and the focus is very, very firm and sturdy. Obviously this lens hood is humongous, and lens hoods are important for cameras, if you want to avoid lens flares in your images, in your videos. You add on the lens hood. I personally like to have lens flares because it adds the cinematic feel to it, but of course if you know that you're going to be adding maybe lens flares in post-production for artistic reasons, creative licenses, then go ahead and put on the lens hood so you could artificially do that. But I really like this lens a lot because it is a wide angle lens. As I explained yesterday in my vlog, what's really good about wide angle lenses is that you can use it for three main things. And I didn't talk about the third thing in my vlog yesterday, and I was just so excited about getting this thing. But it's good for real estate. I've said that. It's good for why am I forgetting right now? I should write these things down, right? It's good for real estate. It's good for, the other thing was landscapes that I didn't mention, is that if you're doing landscape photography or videos, this is really good to get that really wide shot, even though you may be in a certain point, maybe you're in a tight corner. My goodness, I'm trying to remember what it was that I said yesterday. I should have written it down. It's good for real estate. It's good for something else. Can't remember at the moment. But go ahead and check that vlog, and you'll know what I said back there. I can't even remember these things, man. Going live is sometimes difficult, but that's fine. I'm being myself. This is who I am. Anyway, really great lens. Very easy to use, right? To go from automatic to manual focus is just a simple click from up to down, right? And it's very good, very versatile. Like I said, it's a wide angle lens, so you can get in really tight spaces, but still get a huge field of view. Makes things look a lot more massive. I'm still drawing a blank of what it's also good for. This is bad. Anyway, moving on. Sorry, I did need to mention that it is f2.8, which is actually a really good f-stop, just in general, to have an aperture maximum at 2.8. That should be the minimum one that you should, because for low light situations, right? That's the majority of the time, unless you're shooting daytime, then you can get a regular aperture. But if you're going to get a specialized one, try to get the minimum of 2.8, because for low light situations, indoor shooting, if it's like a romantic scene or something like that, you go ahead and pop this guy on. And if you have a speed booster like I do, then you actually make it about 2.3. That depends on the speed booster itself. Technical stuff, not really that important. Man, it's really bugging me that I don't know what the other one was. and I said it yesterday so many times. It's good for real estate, and it's good for um, okay, let's see this. You got real estate, you got landscape, but the other thing, what is the other? You know what? I'm gonna pull it up on my phone and watch my video and see what I said, because this is getting ridiculous now. I tell you. Let's see. Hold on. Blah 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 blah. Da 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 da. Getting close. Right.
Maybe in a very tiny space. That's why GoPro's so them in. Boom. You can use it for so many different uses, and it's a nice, look as well. Now, why do people get wide angle lenses? Because you can use it for real estate. You can use it for your films. You can use it for so many different uses.
Oh, the other thing I said was for films. That's why. Same difference. Whatever. I'm sorry I wasted y'all's time right there. Forgive me for that. But I did want to. It did remind me, I reminded myself that it is a constant aperture 2.8. It's not a variable one. So that means that when you do the zoom, it will constantly keep the aperture open at 2.8. It will not get smaller and smaller. The aperture will not decrease, and that's good because you don't want your image to dim and get darker as you zoom in for that. So that's why this is a great lens. Like I said, for real estate, for filmmaking, documentaries, stuff, on the go, guerrilla style filmmaking, I think, is probably the best way to use a wide angle lens, documentary, like I said, and landscape. Yes, I think those are the best uses for wide angle lenses. The next lens that I have here is one that I actually got a long time ago. Long time ago. I remember I got this in 2012 when I started doing YouTube in the past. This is the Sigma 18 to 250 millimeter, and it's a variable aperture of 3.5 to 6.3. So that means when I'm at 18 millimeters, the aperture will be, the maximum it will go is 3.5, and when I zoom all the way into 250, it gets darker to 6.3. What's really cool about it is that it does have a locking mechanism, so it does not, fall or anything if you're at 18. But it does telescope a lot, from 18 to 250. So there is that. It has built-in optical stabilization, which is really good. It does obviously do automatic and manual focus. All around great lens, great build. I think it's plastic. Yeah, it's plastic. Yeah, I've had this guy for ages, and it's a really great lens. Definitely recommend this guy. The next one I will be talking about is one that I got recently, y'all know, and it's a great combination with the GH4 because it is a really open aperture. This is the Sigma 18 to 35 1.8, and it's a constant aperture. So like I said earlier with this one, being a constant aperture, when I zoom in, it will constantly keep the aperture open. It is a metal build with some plastic. It is a bit heavy, but it's great build quality, of course. the rings just glide when you turn them, and of course it's internal zooming, so when I zoom to 35, it doesn't telescope like this guy does. Focusing is very, very precise, and it's really sharp. Obviously, automatic and manual focus. And the reason why I got this one is because of the constant aperture at 1.8, and I've read so many reviews that it's a great combination with the GH4, because if you want to go in low light situations, this guy, or any lens that has a fast aperture, that's what it's called. If it has an aperture of 2.8 or higher, or rather a smaller number, then that means it's a fast lens. That means you could potentially use it in low light situations without adding extra noise and grain into your image, and that makes it much cleaner, which is what you should go for. These lenses, again, everybody should at least have these. The other lens that I gave away to my brother was a Canon 24mm prime. It's like $140, I think, on Amazon. That one was a pancake lens. That thing was really tiny, like even more tinier than this. It was like about maybe that big, and it's double value, and you get 50mm. So it was kind of a wide angle lens, but it was not a curved. Right, the framing is not bent. There's no barreling happening in the frame. I think that was also 2.8, but the reason why I gave that away is because I could not use that with my GH4. The connection type was EFS, not EF, so it's not APC connections. It's a specific type, so that one only works with Canon cameras, like my T2i, which I had, or actually I had my T3i at the time. Anyway, these lenses, of course, are just, I think they're very cost effective. First of all, they are great build quality. The image quality from them is superb, and that also depends on your camera, but without the lens, your camera is useless, right? You have to have a lens so you can see your image, and how you use these lenses is up to your, what's the word? Is up to your I have no idea what the word is up to how you want to use it. It starts with a D, I think. Anyway, let's see, what else can I talk about these lenses? It's very important to storyboard, so you don't have to constantly figure out what's the good lens. That's why I said I think this is a great starting point. Maybe if you're just starting out, like absolutely you have no money that you could really spend on lenses, then a zoom lens would probably be the best thing to go if you have a DSLR. That's because you just have a lot of variable lengths that you could film at, and blah 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 blah. I wish I had some notes. Inshallah, one day when I have a better live stream setup, then I could probably present these topics a lot better. Anyway, let's see. Trying to figure this out. I do need to say that actually, if you are interested in getting any of these lenses, there is a link for each of them down below. They are all affiliate links, and if you purchase it through that link, it helps this channel out, it helps me out, and I really do appreciate it. But these lenses, like I said, are just amazing, and I think if you're starting out, definitely start with a zoom lens like the 18-250, and then work your way up. The next lens would be getting a 50mm, and then get yourself a wide angle lens, and then get yourself a decent zoom lens that has a constant aperture like the 18-35mm. There's no distortion with this guy. It's not wide angle like this guy. This Takina 11-16 does have distortion, but that's part of the effect if you're going for that. And of course, if the situation calls for it, if you're in a tight space, or if you want to just get that certain look, you go for a wide angle lens. All of them are great. They're affordable. This one, I think, this one is the most expensive, coming in at $800. They did drop right after I bought it for $700, but this one is the most expensive, and that's because of the quality that you get from it is just absolutely amazing. Like, wow. The most cheapest is, of course, the Nifty 50. This was like $125, brand new on Amazon. This guy, the 18 to 30 to 250 millimeter, is, I believe, around $250 on Amazon. Then the Takina 11 to 16 is $420, and this guy, the Sigma to 1835, is $800. So yeah, over time, when you start doing more and more videos, and if you want to get into the videography business, you start saving your money, and then you eventually build your arsenal of lenses. I hope y'all enjoyed this vlog. I hope y'all enjoyed this live stream. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And join the family. I come out with videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday live streams. I just drew a blank right now. Why did I draw a blank? Why do I keep drawing a blank? Why? Oh yeah. This is probably sponsored by my company, Filmmaking Productions. If you or a friend needs a video produced of high quality, then you can definitely reach out to me. A link to my contact info is down below, or you can follow me on Instagram. That's also down below, _cinemaking. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bye bye. Assalamu alaikum. Everybody have a safe and awesome Jummah. Bye. Finish.